I can't breathe. His hand is pressed against the door behind my head, caging me in, and those crimson eyes are staring into my soul like he wants to devour me whole. You smell like cherry blossoms and vanilla, J1 whispers, his voice rough and dangerous. Do you have any idea what you're doing to me, Minjae? My suppressants stopped working 3 hours ago. I'm burning up, and the most terrifying alpha in Seoul is standing in my tiny apartment like he owns it, like he owns me. Rewind to earlier that evening. It started with coffee. Specifically, a very expensive iced Americano that I spilled all over a perfectly tailored suit. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I gasped, watching the dark liquid spread across the chest of quite possibly the most intimidating man I'd ever seen. The gallery opening was crowded, full of Seoul's elite, and I, a broke art student serving drinks for extra cash, had just ruined someone's probably $1,000 suit. He stared down at me with these intense dark eyes, his jaw sharp enough to cut glass. Black hair swept back, tall and broad-shouldered, with an aura that made everyone around us step back instinctively. An alpha. A powerful one. I'll pay for the dry cleaning, I stammered, even though I could barely afford instant ramen. He didn't speak. He just inhaled. Deeply. His eyes widened for a fraction of a second before his expression turned cold again. What's your name? His voice was like velvet wrapped around steel. Minjae. Kim Minjae. I'm really sorry, sir. J1, he interrupted. Kong J1. My stomach dropped. The Kong J1? CEO of Kong Enterprises? The man was a legend, brilliant, ruthless, and notoriously private. Rumors said he'd destroyed competing companies just for looking at him wrong. I'll have my assistant contact you about the suit. He pulled out a business card, his fingers brushing mine as he handed it to me. The touch sent an electric shock up my arm. Don't lose that. Then he walked away, leaving me confused and trembling. That night, 11:47 p.m. I knew something was wrong the moment I got home. My heat suppressants had been working fine for years, reliable, consistent. But tonight, fever crawled under my skin like fire. My hands shook as I checked the pill bottle. I'd taken them on schedule. This shouldn't be happening. The apartment suddenly felt too hot, too small. I stumbled to the bathroom, splashing cold water on my face. In the mirror, my cheeks were flushed, my eyes glassy. No. This couldn't be happening. Not now. Not when I had exams next week and 2 shifts at the cafe. A knock at my door made me freeze. At midnight? I wasn't expecting anyone. Minjae. That voice. Deep, commanding, impossible to ignore. My heart hammered against my ribs. How did he know where I lived? How did he even open the door? It wasn't a request. Against every logical thought screaming in my head, I opened it. One stood there, still in his coffee-stained suit, but his tie was loose and his eyes were glowing faintly red. Alpha eyes. How did you find me? I whispered. Your scent. He stepped inside without invitation, closing the door behind him. I followed it across half the city. You're going into heat. That's impossible. My suppressants. They failed. He moved closer and I backed up until I hit the wall. That's when he caged me in, one hand on either side of my head. And your scent is driving every alpha within a 5-block radius insane. Do you understand how dangerous that is? I did. Omegas in heat without protection were vulnerable. Targets. Why do you care? My voice came out breathier than I wanted. Because, he leaned in, his nose nearly touching my neck. Because I've never reacted to anyone like this. Not in 15 years. Your scent, it's calling to something primal in me. You need to leave, I said, even as my treacherous body leaned toward him. I can't. His voice dropped to a growl. There are 3 other alphas circling this building right now. If I leave, they'll break down your door. Fear shot through me. What do you want? I'm offering you a choice, Minjae. His breath was hot against my ear. Let me stay. Let me help you through this heat. I'll keep you safe, and when it's over, we go our separate ways. No strings. That's insane. I don't even know you. You know enough. I'm Kong J1. I have the power to protect you. And whether you admit it or not. His lips barely brushed the sensitive spot below my ear, making me gasp. Your Omega is already calling for me. He was right. My body was responding to his presence, the fever cooling slightly just from having him near. It terrified me how much I wanted to say yes. One heat, I whispered. Then you leave me alone. His smile was dark and possessive. We'll see about that. As J1's arms wrapped around me, pulling me against his chest, his eyes flashed that dangerous crimson again. You're mine now, Min, he murmured against my hair. Whether you know it yet or not. The last thing I remember thinking before surrendering to the heat was that I just made a deal with the devil himself. And there was no going back. I woke up to sunlight burning through my eyelids and pain blooming across my neck, shoulders, and thighs. Every inch of my skin felt branded, claimed, owned. My fingers traced the raised marks along my throat and I gasped. Bite marks. Dozens of them. Dark purple bruises that screamed one word to anyone who saw them. Taken. You're awake. I bolted upright, clutching the sheets to my bare chest. Juan sat in my desk chair, fully dressed in fresh clothes. How did he even get those? Watching me with those intense dark eyes like I was the most fascinating thing he'd ever seen. Get out, I croaked, my voice raw. No. Morning confrontation. What do you mean, no? I grabbed my blanket, wrapping it around myself as I stumbled out of bed. Everything ached. Our deal was one heat. It's over. Leave. J1 stood, moving toward me with that predatory grace that made my Omega instincts scream both run and submit simultaneously. Look at yourself, Min-jae. Those marks mean something. They mean you got carried away. They mean you're under my protection now. His voice was firm, absolute. Any alpha who sees those marks will know you belong to me. They won't dare touch you. I don't belong to anyone. But even as I said it, I caught sight of myself in the mirror. The marks covered my neck like a collar, disappearing beneath the blanket. Possessive. Territorial. Unmistakably alpha markings. You need to eat. Shower. I've ordered breakfast. I don't want your breakfast. I want you to leave my apartment. His jaw tightened. For a moment, something vulnerable flashed in his eyes. Hurt? Before that cold mask slammed back into place. Fine. But I'm having a security team assigned to you. And take my number. He scribbled on a piece of paper. If any alpha bothers you, call me immediately. I won't. You will. He was suddenly in my space, tilting my chin up. Because whether you accept it or not, what happened last night changed things. I won't let anyone hurt you, Min-jae. Not even yourself. Then he left, and I collapsed against the door, hating how empty my apartment suddenly felt. At university, afternoon. I tried everything to hide the marks. Makeup. A turtleneck. A scarf despite the warm weather. Nothing worked completely. The whispers started the moment I walked through campus gates. Is that Min-jae? Oh my God, look at his neck. Who marked him? Those are intense. I kept my head down, rushing toward my art studio classroom. Just a few more steps. Min-jae. My heart stopped. That voice. I spun around. Seo Jun. My childhood friend stood there, taller than I remembered, his warm brown eyes crinkling as he smiled. We'd grown up together before his family moved to New York for his father's business. That was 5 years ago. Surprise! I transferred back for my final semester. His smile faltered as he got closer. His nostrils flared. Ming, whose scent is all over you. I stepped back instinctively. Seo Jun was a beta, but he'd always been protective of me. It's nothing. Welcome back. Nothing. He reached out, fingers hovering near my scarf. May I? I should have said no. But this was Seo Jun, safe, familiar Seo Jun. I nodded. He gently tugged the scarf down, and I watched his expression transform from concern to shock to something darker. Anger. Who did this to you? His voice was tight. Min-jae, these marks are... This is excessive. Was it forced? Do we need to call the police? No. It was consensual. I was in heat and he helped. He branded you. Seo Jun's hands were shaking. Do you even know what marks like these mean? This alpha is claiming you as... There you are. We both turned. J1 stood 10 feet away, hands in his pockets, looking like he owned the entire university. Students parted around him like he was royalty. His eyes locked on Seo Jun's hand still holding my scarf. The temperature seemed to drop 10 degrees. "You must be lost," Seo Jun said, stepping slightly in front of me. "This is the art department. The business building is. I know where I am." Jae-won moved closer and I felt it, that oppressive alpha presence filling the space. "I'm here for what's mine. Yours." Seo Jun's voice rose. "Min-jae isn't property." "Seo Jun, don't." I tried to intervene. But Jae-won was already there, pulling me against his side. In front of at least 50 stunned students, he tilted my head and pressed his mouth to my neck, right over the existing marks. I felt his teeth graze my skin, felt his scent wash over me, wood smoke and bergamot, reactivating every nerve ending. A soft whimper escaped my throat. When he pulled back, his eyes were locked on Seo Jun. "Now everyone knows. He's under my protection. He wears my marks. He carries my scent." His arm tightened around my waist possessively. "Touch what's mine, Seo Jun, and I'll destroy everything you love." The threat hung in the air like poison. "Min-jae," Seo Jun's voice was pleading. "Tell me this isn't what you want." I opened my mouth, but Jae-won spoke first. "He doesn't have to tell you anything. Come, Min-jae. We're leaving." And because my Omega instincts were screaming at me to follow, because his scent was clouding my judgment, because some part of me craved his dominance, I went. As Jae-won led me away, I glanced back at Seo Jun. The heartbreak on his face made my chest ache. But it was Jae-won's words, whispered against my ear as we walked, that truly terrified me. "I warned you, Omega. You're mine now. And I don't share. $200,000. That's what I'm offering." I stared at the check on the cafe table, then at the man sitting across from me. Hyunwoo. He was beautiful in a dangerous way, sharp features, calculating eyes, and an alpha presence that rivaled Jae-won's. "To do what exactly?" I asked, even though I already knew this was a trap. "To make Kong Jae-won lose his mind." Hyunwoo smiled like a wolf. "Just pretend to be interested in me. A few dates, some photos. Let him smell my scent on you. That's all. 200,000. Enough to pay for mom's surgery. Enough to clear all her medical debt. Enough to betray the alpha who'd marked me as his." 3 days earlier, after the incident at university, Jae-won had become insufferable. He showed up everywhere. My classes, my part-time job, even the grocery store. Always watching. Always there. "This is stalking," I told him as he waited outside my lecture hall. "Hyun. This is protection. There's a difference. I don't need. 3 alphas have approached you this week alone." His eyes darkened. "I saw them. I stopped them. You don't even notice half the dangers around you, Min-jae." Maybe he was right, but his possessiveness was suffocating. That's when I got the call about mom. The cancer had spread. She needed surgery immediately. Cost? $200,000. My part-time cafe salary? Barely enough for rent. I was desperate. Vulnerable. Perfect prey for someone like Hyunwoo. The proposition. "Why me?" I asked, staring at the check. "Why do you care about making Jae-won lose focus?" Hyunwoo leaned back, swirling his coffee. "Kong Enterprises is about to finalize a merger that will make Jae-won the most powerful CEO in Seoul. I can't let that happen. But he's too focused, too controlled." His eyes glinted. "Unless something threatens what he considers his. Like you. This is insane. This is business. And you need money for your mother's surgery, don't you?" He slid the check closer. "I did my research, Min-jae. You're drowning in debt. I'm offering you a lifeline." My hands trembled. "He'll know. Jae-won will figure it out." "So what? You don't owe him anything. You didn't ask to be marked. You didn't ask for his obsession." Hyunwoo's voice turned persuasive. "Take control of your own life. Save your mother. Then walk away from both of us." I thought of mom in that hospital bed. Of the bills piling up. Of the desperation in the doctor's voice. "Just pretend." I whispered. "Just pretend. A few meetings. Let me scent mark you lightly. Nothing physical. When the merger falls through, we're done." I took the check with shaking hands. Smart choice, Hyunwoo smiled. Let's start tomorrow. Lunch at the plaza. Make sure Jae-won hears about it. The deception begins. Meeting Hyunwoo was easier than I expected. He was charming, attentive, and unlike Jae-won, he didn't try to control every aspect of my life. We met 3 times over the next week. A museum. A walk through the park. Each time, he'd casually brush against me, leaving traces of his scent, mint and cedar. Each time, I felt sicker with guilt. Jae-won noticed immediately. Who is he? Jae-won's voice was deadly calm as he cornered me outside my apartment on the 5th day. Who's who? Don't. His hand slammed against the wall beside my head. I can smell another elf on you. Mint and cedar. He. A friend. Friends don't scent mark. His eyes were flickering red. Tell me his name, Min-jae. You don't own me, Jae-won. The hell I don't. You are my marks. You carry my scent. You're mine. His voice cracked on the last word, and I saw it. The fear beneath the anger. Is he touching you? Courting you? What if he is? You said no strings after my heat. Remember? The hurt in his eyes was devastating. You don't mean that. But I couldn't back down. Not with Mom's surgery scheduled for next week. I do. We're done, Jae-won. Stop following me. I went inside and locked the door, pressing my back against it as I heard his ragged breathing on the other side. This isn't over, he said quietly. I don't know what game you're playing, Omega, but I will find out. The breaking point. It happened in the university library. I was studying when Hyunwoo texted, asking to meet in the empty East Wing to discuss the final phase. I should have known better. I found him waiting between the stacks. 1 more week and the merger collapses. You're doing beautifully. Min-jae, step away from him. Jae-won emerged from the shadows, and the alpha pheromones in the air became suffocating. 2 apex predators, facing off. Kang, Hyunwoo smiled. Right on time. You. Jae-won's voice was venomous. This was you. You've been using him. Using. Hyunwoo pulled me against his side. Min-jae came to me willingly. Didn't you, Omega? Jae-won's eyes locked on mine. Tell me this isn't true. I should have confessed everything. But Hyunwoo's grip tightened in warning. Mom's surgery was in 3 days. It's true, I whispered. I want to be with Hyunwoo. Something shattered in Jae-won's expression. Then he moved. Violent. He slammed me against the bookshelf, his mouth crashing onto my neck. His teeth sank deep, deeper than before, right over his existing marks. I screamed from the intensity, pleasure and pain mixing until I couldn't tell them apart. Mine. He growled against my skin, biting again. And again. Say it. Say you're mine. Please. The world was spinning. Say it. I'm yours. The words tore from my throat. I'm yours, My vision blurred. Too much. Too intense. My body couldn't handle the force of his claiming. The last thing I heard was Jae-won's horrified voice. Min-jae? No, 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 Min-jae, stay with me. Then darkness swallowed me whole. I woke up drowning in silk sheets that cost more than my entire apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows revealed the Seoul skyline glittering below. A penthouse. Jae-won's penthouse. My hand flew to my neck, finding fresh bandages covering the marks. Everything came rushing back. The library, Hyunwoo, Jae-won's desperate claiming, the unbearable pain, then nothing. 3 days. Jae-won's voice came from the doorway. He looked wrecked, dark circles under his eyes, wrinkled clothes, hair disheveled. You've been unconscious for 3 days. I thought I'd killed you. The confession. What happened? My voice was hoarse. Jae-won moved to the bed, keeping his distance like he was afraid to touch me. I lost control. The marks, they were too intense because, he closed his eyes. Because you're my fated mate, Min-jae. The words hung in the air like a bomb. That's impossible. Fated mates are rare. 1 in 10 million. His laugh was bitter. I know. I spent 15 years believing I'd never find mine. Then you spilled coffee on me and your scent, it called to something primal in me. Something I'd buried long ago. I touched the bandages on my neck. The marks were my alpha trying to complete a mate bond without your conscious consent. That's why you collapsed. Your body wasn't ready. Shame colored his voice. I almost destroyed the most precious thing I've ever found because I couldn't control my jealousy. J1. Let me finish. Please. He ran a hand through his hair. 5 years ago, I had a partner. Not a mate, but someone I trusted. I was preparing a major business deal and my rival, his voice hardened, seduced them. Used them to steal confidential information. The betrayal nearly destroyed my company and broke something in me. I vowed never to trust anyone again. My chest ached for him. Then I showed up. Then you showed up, and every wall I'd built crumbled. But when I smelled Hyunwoo on you, his hands clenched into fists. I thought history was repeating itself. I thought you'd chosen him. It drove me insane. I didn't choose him, I whispered. He offered to pay for my mother's surgery if I helped sabotage your merger. I was desperate, J1. She's dying. Understanding dawned in his eyes, followed by fury. Hyunwoo. Of course. He's always looking for weaknesses to exploit. He pulled out his phone. Your mother's surgery, when is it? It was yesterday. I missed it. I don't even know if She's fine. I had my medical team handle everything. Best surgeons in Seoul. The surgery was successful. His voice softened. Did you really think I wouldn't take care of her the moment I found out? Tears burned my eyes. Why would you do that? Because you're mine to protect. Everything that's yours is mine to care for. He finally moved closer, cupping my face. I should have asked what you needed instead of assuming I knew best. I'm sorry, Min-jae. The trap. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I have your beta friend. Warehouse District, Pier 49. Come alone, or Seo-jun dies. HW. No. Ju-won read over my shoulder, his expression darkening. You're not going. He'll kill Seo-jun. It's a trap. Hyunwoo wants you there to force a bond. If another alpha marks you while we're partially bonded, it could kill you. I can't let Seo-jun die because of me. Jae-won's jaw clenched. Then I'm coming with you. And Hyunwoo will regret ever learning your name. The confrontation. The warehouse was dark, reeking of rust and decay. Seo-jun hung suspended by chains, unconscious but breathing. Hyunwoo leaned against a crate, smiling. Right on time. Both of you. Perfect. Let him go, I demanded. Your fight is with Jaeun, not him. Oh, but he's the perfect bait. And you, Hyunwoo moved toward me, are the perfect weapon. Once I complete a mate bond with you, Kong Jae-won will be too broken to function. I'll acquire his company for pennies. Jae-won stepped in front of me, his alpha presence exploding outward. Touch him and I'll rip your throat out. Big words. But you're too controlled, Jae-won. Too civilized. That's always been your weakness. Hyunwoo's eyes flashed red. I'm willing to go feral. Are you? What happened next was brutal. Jae-won moved with inhuman speed, slamming Hyunwoo into the concrete. They fought like animals, claws, teeth, raw alpha dominance. The air crackled with pheromones so intense I could barely breathe. Run! Jae-won roared at me. Get Seo-jun and run. But I couldn't move. Couldn't look away as Jae-won's eyes turned fully crimson, as something primal and terrifying took over. He pinned Hyunwoo down, hand around his throat. Threatened. What's mine? Each word was punctuated by Hyunwoo's head slamming into the ground. Blood pooled beneath them. Jae-won, stop. I screamed. You'll kill him. He deserves death. But you'll regret it. I threw myself forward, grabbing his arm. Please. Don't become a monster for me. I need you, the real you. His eyes found mine. Slowly, painfully, the red faded to brown. He released Hyunwoo's unconscious body. For you, he breathed. Only for you. 6 months later, the mating ceremony was small. Intimate. Just close friends and family. I wore traditional silk hanbok in deep blue, the collar low enough to display Jae-won's completed mate mark, beautiful now, healed and perfect. A permanent claim that I'd finally accepted willingly. Ready. J1 whispered, looking devastating in black. Terrified, I admitted. But ready. His smile was soft, genuine. I'll spend every day earning your trust. Your choice to stay. You already have all three. As we walked down the aisle, I spotted Seo Jun in the crowd. He'd forgiven me for everything, understanding that sometimes love is messy and complicated. His smile was bittersweet but genuine. The officiant began the ceremony. Do you, Kim Min-jae, accept this alpha as your mate? I looked at J1, possessive, protective, and utterly devoted. I do. And do you, Kang J1, vow to cherish and protect your Omega? His hand tightened around mine. Until my last breath. The bond completed with a flash of warmth, our souls intertwining. J1 pulled me close, pressing his forehead to mine. Mine, he whispered. Yours, I agreed. Always yours. As we kissed, sealing our fate, I realized something. Being claimed by Kang J1 wasn't a prison. It was freedom.